But today he's here to celebrate something even bigger than the music. 5 years of sobriety from drugs and alcohol, and he's turning his personal milestone into a message for others. We are so glad to have him here this morning. Please welcome an Atlanta rap legend, as I mentioned, Young Dro.
What's up?
Good to have you on this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so you have always been very transparent about your life and specifically your past drug addiction and how it really got to the point where you almost lost your life. You're now 5 years sober.
Yeah.
What does that milestone mean to you?
Oh man, it means a lot, man. Like 20 years later, the music is still here, the fans are still here, and I'm still here. And celebrating 5 years of sobriety, man, is just, I'm using my platform to actually have a conversation that I needed back then, which was mental health, addiction, healing and growth, So that's what the June 14th thing is all about also, the don't crash out, So it means a lot to sit in the moment,
And your drug abuse had gotten really intense. You had multiple overdoses. In fact, one episode, you almost lost your life. T.I.'s son, Damani, basically had to save your life by administering CPR. Was that the turning point?
Yes. That was a big turning point for me. My nephew had to do that, and I was very upset that, I was putting people through things that I caused on myself, you know what I'm saying? And also my daughter was in her addiction as well, and she ended up picking up the same time I did, coincidentally at the same age, you know what I mean? So that was a big turning point for me.
But you got help. That's the most important part. You checked yourself into rehab.
Yes, I did.
And you got better. Talk about that process and what you learned about yourself in rehab.
Well, the process was, I was fighting and kicking at first, but Dr. Sierra L really just helped me. She had the resources. Music Cares came through, you know what I mean? And I flew to California, and that was the best flight that I ever took in my career,
You are now 5 years sober. That is certainly something to celebrate, stepping away from the drugs and alcohol. And you were talking to me before we went on air about just how easy access was. When you're a rapper, when you pretty much can get whatever you want, how have you changed sort of the situations and the environments that you put yourself in so you don't go back?
Well, kind of like, I had to change the people too. Like, it's some people that I really do love that I really just had to separate myself from, not because they were bad people, but because I was on a different path. So, I changed the rider that I have, it's not no more alcohol on my rider, it's water and energy drinks, and you know what I mean? So it's just that people, places, and things I had to change.
Now you're doing a lot in the community. You have your own nonprofit. You're reaching out to young people. How do you as a rapper get the message out to young people when sometimes, let's be honest, the music gives them a different message where drugs can sometimes be normalized?
Well, so in that situation, I use the cheat code because I am a rapper, and then, once I lure them in with that, I let them know that the message that I have to be like straightforward, I have to meet them where they are. And once I give them the story about what I've been through, and once they hear it, they see that, that life that we put out on Instagram, that's only illusion, that's only entertainment. You know what I mean? Real life can be right in front of you.
What advice would you give to someone, because a lot of us may know someone who's struggling with addiction, whether it's drugs, alcohol, or some other type of addiction, and you're afraid to step in, you're afraid to intervene, but sometimes that's what's needed. And you had people to do that for you. What advice would you give to people on the other end who maybe want to help someone?
I mean, well, just you have to meet them. You have to meet people where they are. Don't be so pushy about what they need to be doing. Just offer the help and then just sit back, because they'll eventually come to you. I've always told people, man, it's okay to admit that you walked into the wrong door than to spend a lifetime in the wrong room. You know what I mean? So it's,
Yeah. So before you go, you talked about an event coming up on June 14th. Real quick, what's going on?
Don't Crash Out, June 14th is, I'm using my platform again, to just have a conversation that is very much so needed about the mental health, addiction, healing, and growth. And, I just want to crack the can open and let everybody know that it's okay to have a conversation and unpack.